I think, creating quality content has to be table stakes. Right? Like you have to be able to say something that is relevant and useful. Like, let's take this podcast here. Are we giving earth shattering information that no one else has released ever and no one else has talked about? No, not necessarily. But you look at it and you say, what is your unique take on this thing? And that is now content that's yours. And I'm not saying go to, Alex Hormozy's channel on, YouTube Shorts or TikTok or wherever it happens to be and just mimic everything that he does. And then you're going to be the next Alex Hormozy. Well, Alex Hormozy was 10 years in the making to finally get to the point where he's now an overnight success, and he's like the hot thing.
You know what? That's not a bad plan.
Right.
I know what you're saying. I know it's funny, but that's better than nothing. If you were to just go follow the thought leader and be the best plan B, like, okay, this is what Alex said. And so I'm going to do that same topic and do my own spin. I'd prefer that than what people are doing now, which is on the sidelines, slowly dripping out little tiny, teeny pieces of content that just never have the opportunity to be seen because of how much volume is out there.
Yeah, I think you're slightly misinterpreting what I was saying is that I'm saying go out and produce exactly what he's doing. An alternative to that, and a great alternative, is to actually disagree and do the opposite or have your own take on something that somebody like him, we're using him as just an example because it's a good example. And he actually, if you go through his shorts, and he's a great channel to go to, and we'll leave links in the show notes. We should actually have him on the show at some point in time. Really interesting dude. Is that he says there is a absolute connection with volume of content and how profitable and how wide reaching his socials are. The more he pumps into it, the more comes out. Now, is he using some of these tools? And another tool which we'll leave links in the show notes is opus.pro. That's another one that does this really, really well. Like we used in our nugget, we talked about tools that we can potentially use to do this very thing. Vidyo.ai is a great one. Definitely check out
Opus is great too. I just saw Opus on, remember Christine Marie? We had her on.
Yeah.
Christine's a brand marketer through and through in a lot of ways. She's all about messaging. She's all about empathy. And she's championing something like Opus for content repurposing. So, I mean, the thought leaders, the people on the vanguard see the need for it, regardless of paradigm. What's the word I really want? Indoctrinated philosophy. So, even if you are one of the heavy brand marketers that wants everything to be perfect, fine. But realize that there are people in your camp that are doing this exact thing.
And you might not even know that they're doing it.
Right.
It's not like you should absolutely stay on brand. You should, like this brand that we just talked to is in a very competitive niche in a red ocean, but has a very unique selling proposition. Okay. And we've done shows on that. They do this whole thing different than everybody else, but they're still bidding on keywords that are $50 to $75 per. How do you shift that paradigm? Well, you go top of funnel pre-engagement content and put out a lot of it. Yep. Because you don't know, like you go over to like your channel, any of our social channels, like there are videos that have, in our TikTok, there's hundreds of thousands of views in some videos and some videos have like 7 views. It's like, that's just the price of doing business. Like I'm not embarrassed by it. Like a lot of those videos that have like 10 views are my videos. That's okay.
That's what's funny. The videos that I like the most, whenever I put something out that I'm like, I know this is going to hit, I'm always wrong. And then the video that takes off, I'm just like, really? Like that was the topic that caught, it's funny how consistent that is.